Welcome back, YouTube. This is going to be part one of the Katana Kart revival. This used to be a go-kart. The red part used to be a go-kart, and I've built on everything else and modified some of the parts of the go-kart to fit back onto it and stuff like that, like this front end. But the best part is back here. This is a engine out of a 1999 Suzuki Katana 750. So it's 750 cc's, it's about 93 brake horsepower, and about 65 foot-pounds of torque. And I've got that geared down, so I probably have 100 pounds of torque to these tires. So yeah, all kinds of power. But 3 years ago, after I got done building this thing, I kind of built this as my senior project, unofficial senior project. I was out riding it around, and my design down here of using this pill block bearing and using the shaft, I didn't have a long enough shaft, and I used a piece of angle iron to extend the shaft out. Well, I had these two welds here on these parts here break. This shaft bent down like that, and this being a self-centering pillow block bearing, it just rotated inside the pillow block, and the rear end slipped off, and then the other side came off as well, and the whole engine unit assembly came off of the back of the go-kart. Luckily, I was only doing maybe 10 miles an hour when it happened, so it just kind of slid to a stop. The front brakes still work, but it pulled out my choke cable, my throttle cable. It ripped the wiring apart. It ripped my oil cooler lines off. Located my oil cooler up here and got these nice 3/8 brake lines, and it ripped the ends of them off. I've got it back together now. But ripped my fuel lines apart and destroyed my brake cables. Here's my brake line, or at least what's left of it. I've had this thing running since it happened, but it's been 3 years since I've had it running. So I'm going to completely strip this whole thing down. I'm going to redesign new mounts for underneath here using these heavy-duty truck bushings. Sorry, using these heavy-duty truck bushings with, those are about a 9/16 hole. These are plenty beefy enough. Cut them off here, make some new mounts, mount these up onto some plates that I'll bolt onto the existing brackets, because those seem to be holding just fine. I'll probably actually beef them up a little bit more than they were. But so these will be the new bushings, and I've got 2 of these bars. I could use the old ones, but somebody torched the bolts off. I'm sure that'd be a treat to get those out. But I've got 2 sets. I got 2 bushings there that are good enough for this anyways. I'm gonna strip the seats out of it and pull this rear hatch open here from the other side. So I'm gonna strip all this apart and get that open, and I'll bring you back when I start to get the wiring figured out, and we're going to try to get this thing running. So this is my battery box that I made, that I have a plate that goes on top of this to make this, so that this is, I wanted it so all the electricals and everything like that would be, I can put a seal in here and seal this in, so this is all waterproofed. But here's what got ripped out. So we got, looks like we got, there's a ground, here's the front winch cable, this is main power to the switch, this is another main wire. Where'd this one go? This one used to go here. This is main battery power. This battery's junk, by the way. And then we had yellow was ignition. Doesn't seem like I've got too much of a wiring mess here. And then this is, yeah, that battery's junk. This is crank, which goes to this wire there. And that's about it. And then obviously I lost my clutch cable here. This is destroyed. I got ripped off. My throttle cable got ripped out clean. It's just gone. Here's the old throttle cable here. Ripped right out. Obviously brake lines junk. Sheared the shielding on that. Ripped my shifter cables out. I ordered new ones. These two cables here and here need to go over here to actuate this shifter linkage. Yeah, well, I'm gonna fiddle with this wiring here for a little bit and see if I can't make this thing run. I'll bring you back before I try to start it. Alright, well, I guess it's finally the moment of truth here. I got the harness. I actually soldered everything back together again, so it shouldn't come apart now. I got a battery hooked up over here. I threw a little extra fuel tank on here because the big one's full of really varnished gas. I doubt the carburetors are going to be anything near clean, but we'll give them a try. Otherwise I got a little bit of carb clean to help start it. Not very much left in my cans though. So yeah, let me get you on the tripod here. My little fuel on here. Let's see what happens. It's definitely gonna need a choke. Should be able to just turn the key. Ho 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 ho. Almost sounds flooded. Turn that choke off. Trying to idle. Let me turn that idle up a little bit. It's in neutral. Welcome back. So, I got some new parts on it. I put a new pickup sensor in here, and I put new spark plugs in it, new coil packs on it, and I re-went through my wire and I did find a bad connection and I got it fixed. And so let's get this thing running. I also switched over to the old tank here, the one for it. I have a feeling it's going to go this time. Here we go. There we go. Good wiring nest here now. That's alright, this is all going to come apart today. Good full look at it here before I tear it down. I'm gonna put those air cleaners on quick and see if it'll rev. Up good, I don't know, 40 feet, 50 feet. Well, I'd say that's a pretty good wrap up for part one of the Katana Kart rebuild. We're going to do a whole bunch of this thing. I'm going to strip her down and repaint it. I'm going to fix this joint down here. I got brand new shock absorbers coming, all 4. We'll put turn signals on it. I've got a new cluster for it, or not a new one, but a used one, but new to me. And put this on it, so now we got a tack. Really want to know if that works. And yeah, figure out the rest of this wire mess. This is everything that's left off that bike. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Last time I had it out, it did over 100 miles an hour before it broke. We're going to build it so it's stronger and it can take more abuse. And we're going to try to beat that. This is Crazy Builder 141 signing off. Have a good day.